Yes, you ready?
I'm ready if you are.
Okay. I have to clap my hands and all that good stuff. I think I got it down this time.
You know what you're supposed to say?
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh.
No, you jump right in there. You normally do.
Okay.
Okay? Let's go. Hi, everybody. This is Travis Jansen, and we are at Thrive Fitness, back with another question and answer session. It's episode 29, and we have quite a few questions to ask Mr. Scarlato today.
All right.
All right, so you ready for number one?
Bring it.
Okay, this happens to be from my daughter, Chelsea. She's a full-time working mom of a 3-year-old who gets up every morning at 5 and does some kind of exercising, and has been successful in losing about 40 pounds doing that. But she says she's ready now, kind of hit a plateau, and has knows that she needs to start doing some kind of cardio. So she has a jump rope and some weights up to 25 pounds. And she has about 30 minutes first thing in the morning to go downstairs and exercise before she has to get her son up and get everybody off to daycare and work and all that. So what kind of cardio can she do?
In 30 minutes to maximize her
Right.
the rest of the weight loss that she wants to achieve.
Right.
Okay. So knowing that she has mom as a nutrition expert to go to, I'm assuming that, well, I'm not going to assume that it's perfect. She's a mom, so things are erratic and that happens. But if she's lost 40 pounds, she's eating pretty well. So assuming that that's not the issue, that the nutrition's not the issue, and that whenever you get down to the small numbers, then nutritionally you're talking about macronutrient timing and amount of certain macronutrients and things like that. So you're getting a little more specific when you're talking about smaller amounts of weight to lose, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So that out of the way, in 30 minutes, basically what you should be doing is MRT, metabolic resistance training, which is what a lot of our classes, a couple of our classes are based on, and then what a lot of our cardio at the end of our sessions is based on. So if you have 30 minutes, I still think you should spend 5 minutes warming up. That can be just some dynamic stretching, lunges, lateral lunges, some hip bridges, bird dogs.
My faves.
5 minutes of just like basic warming up to get you moving. So then that leaves you 25 minutes to be able to do something, and I would leave 5 minutes at the end again to kind of like just cool down and calm yourself down. So that leaves us with 20 minutes, which is still plenty of time. Okay, so in 20 minutes, you're not going to go like jog for 20 minutes and get a lot of benefit as far as weight loss goes. So with metabolic resistance training, basically the idea is to use resistance, external resistance, whether that be or just your body, to use resistance for an amount of time and then rest, and then use it for an amount of time and then rest to get your cardio in. And the idea is, number one, not only are you elevating your heart rate and then letting it come back down, which is the most efficient way for you to maximize your weight loss potential, but also you're doing resistance training, which is what's going to help build muscle, which is what helps you burn more fat. The more lean mass that you have, the higher your metabolism is, which we talked about before, the more calories you're going to burn at rest. And that's the goal is not how many calories you can burn in 20 minutes, right? The goal is how many calories do I burn throughout the day? Because even a 1 hour workout, it's not going to make up for the rest of the day. That's 1 hour out of 24. So the more lean mass you can have, the more calories you're going to burn throughout the day. So if you have 25-pound weights and a jump rope, so there's a couple things you can do. You can do the jump rope on for we'll say start with 20 seconds, rest for 20 seconds, and then grab your dumbbells and do split squats. 15 seconds on one leg and do split squats 15 seconds on the other leg. Rest for 20 seconds and then do push-ups. 20 seconds push-ups. Rest for 20 seconds and then repeat. Or don't even rest at all. Go even better. Jump rope, split squats, push-ups, and then rest. Jump rope, split squat, push-up, rest.
Each of them for 20?
Yeah, 20 seconds. Okay? 20 seconds jump rope, 20 seconds of, 15 seconds of split squats on each leg, and then 20 seconds of push-ups, and then rest for 90 seconds, and then just repeat. You can repeat that for the whole 20 minutes, and you'll be tired.
Ooh, I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good.
So the idea, and you can utilize the jump rope all you want, that's great. So the jump rope I wouldn't do a whole lot longer than 30 seconds if you're mixing in other exercises. So if you're doing the jump rope, do one lower body exercise afterwards and then one upper body exercise. Okay? And do those in a group and then rest for about 90 seconds. Do that for 20 minutes and you'll be good to go.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Good question.
Okay, our second question is from Robin and Lisa, who were nutrition clients recently. And
fantastic nutrition clients, by the way.
Very successful.
Yeah.
They are middle-aged, and their diet is pretty much on spot, they said, which they proved through the program. And they're happy where they are weight-wise. But they're feeling that just kind of overwhelmed at this point, tough to sustain, meal prepping during the week, working full-time. They both like to run a couple of times a week. They do a little bit of strength training 2 to 3 times a week, and throw in a yoga class, they said. And they know they're supposed to be foam rolling for recovery and all that. So they said, if we don't run 2 to 3 times a week, their pace drops off. If they don't strength train 2 to 3 times a week, they feel weak. So where's the balance in all of this for sustainability? And I think this is something that you had to teach me a long time ago.
So
sounds like they're doing a lot of things.
There's a lot going on in this question. And number one, I want to say, Lisa and Robin, you guys, I didn't get to work with you sadly enough, but hopefully we get to get you in here and get you on some of our programs at Thrive Fitness. But Trias tells me you guys did a great job, so congratulations on the almost 30 and almost 20 pounds you guys lost in 12 weeks. So that's extremely awesome. The hardest thing for people to appreciate, or maybe not appreciate, for a lot of people to understand is most of training is what we call greasing the groove. And so there are different levels of greasing the groove, number one. So there are like really easy levels where you're injured and all you can do is go through a motion and make sure that you're continuing to stay efficient at it. And then there's the normal level of greasing the groove, which is pretty much your everyday training. So understanding that you're not trying to hit it out of the ballpark every time is important. That's number one. So every time you walk in the gym or every time you go for a run, you're not trying to break a record, because your body only has so much capacity in it before you get into overtraining. And with that much work, 2 to 3 days of weight training and 2 to 3 days of running, and then I think they do some yoga classes as well thrown in there, and that can be active recovery. But I think you need to know what you want. So you need to know if you want to be a runner or if you want to be a weight trainer, not weight trainer, but if you want to be a runner, or if you just want to be overall healthy, or you need to know where you want to go. And from there, then you can answer, okay, what should I spend most of my time on? And then what can I supplement in some other things that I might enjoy doing? So if you want to be a runner, then most of your time should be spent running. And then you should also do some weight training. It's important for any runner to do weight training. I don't care if you're like an ultra marathon runner, you should weight train. It's important for anybody to weight train. So if that's what you want to do is run, then most of your time should be spent running, and then you should supplement it with weight training. If you're trying to be healthy, in my opinion, you should spend most of your time weight training and then supplement it with running. If you want to be power lifter, which I don't think you need either of those want to be, you should spend the vast majority of your time weight training and powerlifting, and then very minimal time running, but that's another story. So you just have to know where you want to go, and then understand that active rest is important. And that's one thing that Trish has a hard time grasping onto, and I think she just recently started to appreciate, is that just resting sometimes is important. And it's fine. And whenever you get back into it, you're not going to just, like, if you take 3 to 5 days off or a week off, number one, let it be active rest. So move around and do things, go bike, go play some sports, go do whatever. But whenever you go back to whatever you're doing, you're not going to be back at where you were, like where you were the week before. It's just, you're just not going to be there, but you'll get there eventually, and it's not going to take that long. So,
I think that at least the fear with me is when you've lost weight through good nutrition and exercise, you're afraid to
go backwards.
So when you take a week off, do you feel? I feel you got to keep your nutrition pretty
more on point,
spot on.
Well, so here's the thing: like a week off of. So say you did nothing for a week, weight training wise, or just exercise wise, like you just laid around for a week,
right?
Which is okay too. So if you just lay around for a week, and even if your nutrition is only 60%, if you go back, like if you get back on it the next week, it's not gonna. That 7 days is not gonna affect you. It's just not. And I understand, and I've lost 50 pounds as well.
Wow. Oh, that's right.
I've been 240.
I saw those pictures.
Yeah, I was 240.
A chunky monkey.
Yeah. So I've been there. Mine was for completely different reasons. I was lifting heavy weights, but I was just a big dude. So I understand the fear of going backwards. And I think if you're taking time off of exercise, as long as your nutrition's on point and you're really comfortable with your nutrition and understanding that you have the ability to keep that in check, then the exercise will play itself out. Like the exercise doesn't have to be 7 days a week if your nutrition's on point, and it can be okay taking 3 to 5 days off if your nutrition's on point. And it's just not going to do much to you. Once it's gone and you keep your nutrition where it is, it's just not going to come back. If your nutrition stays on point. And that, I think, is the hardest thing for people to get. Like when you're like a lot of people get the weight off and then they think they can just eat junk again. And then the weight comes back on. Or they get the weight off with nutrition and exercise, and then they say, all right, I can stop exercising and stop eating right, and then it just comes back on. So that's where you fall apart. When you just like, oh, this is a short-term deal. Like, no, this is a long-run thing. You don't understand. This is every day that you have to do this, but sometimes you do need a rest, but then just get back on the wagon and go. Like, this is
and don't worry about it.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like,
enjoy it. And
it's fine. I'm a huge double stuff eater. I haven't had any for a long time. I admit it. You know that.
Okay.
I'm fine with it, and it's fine. I don't eat them every day. I don't eat them every month. I don't eat them every 2 months. I haven't had them in, 4 months, 5 months.
Are you sure?
I'm mostly sure.
Okay.
Maybe I blacked out at some point and had some. But yeah, I mean, when I eat them, I eat, and it's, I'm usually with family. I don't just like buy some double stuffs and eat them, but I'm with family and we're having a gathering and I'm like, yeah, I'll have some double stuffs. Maybe it's a little more than some, but that's not important either.
I was going to say, I'm not going to tell.
Let's move on before I tell any more secrets.
Your reputation goes down the tube. Okay, so here's a question I get a lot from clients, and I thought I would ask you. How do you choose a high-quality protein powder, or does it really matter?
Absolutely it matters. Well, so I say that. I'm all by myself. So does it matter? Yes. Is it is it like life or, is it going to hold you back from losing weight or gaining muscle or getting stronger, depending on how you're trying to use it? Maybe. So, number one, a lot of the protein powders out there have 20 to 25, 30 ingredients in them. Those protein powders that you don't know, you can't pronounce a lot of the ingredients in them, you should stay away from because your body doesn't utilize them correctly. Now, is it going to keep you from losing weight or putting on muscle or, just maintaining a healthy lifestyle? Not necessarily. Maybe it will a little bit, but it's more going to impact your health, your long-term health, than it will probably impact your weight loss or hypertrophy goals because of the things that your body's trying to digest that it doesn't understand. So on the other hand, then you're talking about like what types of protein, right? So you're talking about like vegetable proteins, pea protein and things like that, or
hemp protein,
quinoa protein, whey protein, casein protein, all those things. So the vast majority of protein out there is whey protein. The next one is probably casein. After that is probably, I would guess, egg. I'm not 100% sure. But when you're talking on that level, then there will be some deviation in like your results. But I don't think that it's going to be that big. So if you're trying to put on muscle and utilize it to put on muscle and get stronger, you don't want to be taking pea protein. It's just not like, you just don't want to be doing that. You need some whey, you need some casein, some beef protein, some egg protein, something that is a whole protein, full profile of amino acids, and your body is going to be able to assimilate as best it can and utilize as much as it can. So a lot of proteins that are out there outside of like whey and casein and egg and beef proteins, but a lot of proteins that are out there, your body just can't assimilate. Your body can't metabolize all of it. Your body doesn't utilize every bit of it. So just because it says protein on it doesn't mean your body's actually like utilizing all of it. So in those instances, number one, you have to know who you are. So you have to know if you're allergic to dairy. If you're allergic to dairy, that basically eliminates casein and a couple others. So then you can go the egg route or the beef route. So you have to know who you are, and then you want to get the best one that your body's going to utilize maximally. Your body's going to be able to use all the amino acids in it.
Okay. I think for the average person, that protein powders are for convenience sakes. You're better off to eat whole food.
Hands down.
Yeah.
No,
so
yeah. Protein powders they're glorified for this. Like, you say protein powder, and people are like, "So what should I do with this protein powder?" And it's not. I'm not. Bodybuilders and GNC and other companies like that have just glorified protein to be this thing. Like it's just ground up. Yeah, it's just ground up food, in my opinion. Right. So if you don't need it, don't use it. If you can eat whole foods all the time, do that. Eat whole foods all the time. Right. Even post-workout, you don't need protein post-workout. I don't care if you're a bodybuilder. I don't care if you're a power lifter. I don't care. You don't need it.
Well, like you said, you don't absorb completely out of a protein powder like you do out of whole food.
Yep, you bet. You just don't need it. So unless it's just like totally convenient for you, and and it's for a lot of people. It is like
very much
like breakfast. Just get up, grab a protein shake, and drink it on the way to work. If you don't feel like making eggs, or at lunch, or if you need a snack at your desk, like just pull the protein shake out and drink it. Then yeah, do it. But if you can eat whole foods all the time, eat whole foods all the time, and that's a no brainer.
Agreed. So, and I think that a lot of protein powders don't taste very good.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't. Not in particular, but like you're an example of someone who doesn't digest a lot of proteins well. Like it upsets your stomach. And I think a lot of people are like that, but I think a lot of people just suffer through it because they think they need to be taking protein powders. Or they just don't want to search around for something else, or someone's just selling them the protein powder and they just keep buying it. So, yeah, if you want protein powder and it's easy for you, or you enjoy the taste or whatever it is, like, but it upsets your stomach, find it. There are a couple of enzymes that some protein powders have that help your gut digest, but you can't find a whole lot of them that have enzymes in them. So if you can find one, if it bothers you, find a protein powder with an enzyme in it that helps you digest it. Other than that, just keep looking around. If it's something you need, again, if you don't need it and you can eat whole foods, like, just eat whole food.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
But good question, because that's a lot of people have. I don't say struggle with it, but it's like, protein.
I get asked.
But no, that's a good question, because it is.
Okay. Cool. All right. So this is from Donna, a coworker of mine who follows us on Thrive TV, and she would like to know. This is kind of a question for me, but you're going to get it.
Great.
Okay. Ideas for healthy snacks.
Ideas for healthy snacks. Oh boy. We're going to go down this rabbit hole, are we?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think that we need to discuss our snacks.
What people think they are?
Yeah.
Donna, thank you for the question, because snacks are something that a lot of people ask about. And snacks are, don't get me wrong, snacks are okay. Going back to the eating whole foods thing, and I think all snacks should be whole foods, but that's not the point. And you don't have snacks, you have meals. You eat. You have times that you eat. And whenever you get into, for most people, when they get into snacking, then that's when you get into trouble, because people snack on pretzels, and they snack on potato chips, and they snack on bags of M&Ms, and they snack on things like that. And some people snack on almonds and fruit and other things, which you think is, and it is healthy. It's a much better choice than your M&Ms and potato chips. However, you can very easily overeat almonds. I can eat a bag of almonds, no problem. And that's not good. That's not good. There's a point of diminishing returns with everything. And you can very easily overeat fruit. It can easily be done. Again, point of diminishing returns, where it's not beneficial to you. So you should eat meals. High quality protein, and depending on time of day, you should eat veggies at every meal if you can. A quality fat at every meal, and a fruit at one or two of them, or some sort of starchy carb. That's a potato or some white rice or something along those lines. So, with that being said, if you're talking about snacks again, then you're just talking about convenience. Like, how fast can you get it in my mind? It's not necessarily like, if you're eating whole foods and you're eating quality meals, then you should be full between meals. There should be no, like, I'm starving.
Are right, yeah.
At that point, you're just talking about, you're probably eating something during the day that's crashing you and making you hungry before you should be. However, if you're just talking about snacking because it's fast and convenient, then you can talk about protein shakes again, mixing in something with the protein shake, some almond butter, something along those lines. Clean beef jerky is a good one, and you can have some, couple pieces of fruit with your beef jerky, or some nuts with your beef jerky. So it does, when you're talking about snacking, it gets a little harder to find, I guess, easy. You can hard boil some eggs, and those can be easy.
That's a good one. That's the one that I recommend to a lot of people for that.
Yeah, they're easy.
You encourage people to eat every 3 to 4 hours. So if they're eating at 6 in the morning and they're working and their lunch is at, say, 11:30, I think that they're thinking snack
somewhere in between
there.
Yeah,
so
sure.
It doesn't have to be complicated.
No, not at all.
Cottage cheese is another. good snack.
Whole fat cottage cheese
that you can have. You know,
and you can have a couple pieces of fruit with it because it has fats in it and it has
some protein.
Protein in it. So.
But hard-boiled eggs are a good portable snack to keep.
Yeah, they really are.
They travel well.
2 or 3 of them.
I do that quite often for a snack for myself. Just eat a couple of hard-boiled eggs, and sometimes that's all I need because it's the fat and the protein, and you know, I have some spinach if I want it. But I think that's the kind of snacks that people talk about.
Yeah.
A lot of people want. I don't know what it is. A lot of people crave crunchy things.
Yep.
So I think that when it comes to that, your nuts qualify as crunchy to me. But you could have like celery is essentially carrots. Jicama that we did a blog post on is a good low calorie, low carbohydrate snack that you can have, and that's crunchy.
Yeah.
Just those kinds of things. Raw vegetables are good and crunchy. But that seems to be something that people, when they're trying to lose weight, crave, is that crunch.
Yeah, and vegetables you can eat. You can eat. Keep eating them.
Right. Most people don't eat enough of them. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
So that's good. But, yeah, I mean, for the sake of... But you should... I think you should think of every time you eat as a meal. Like, whether it's a mini meal or a regular meal. Like, a snack should be a meal, but it's just a mini meal. You're not stuffing yourself, but you're still getting a quality protein.
Good nutrition.
Good nutrition in it.
And not potato chips and pretzels.
Right.
And all of that. Okay, good answer. Okay, and then the last question is, this is a tough one. This is from Kevin. Explain the importance of balance as part of exercise. As in balance when you're exercising and why we exercise full body.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Right.
Blame him if it doesn't. Sorry, Kevin.
So I'm gonna take balance in a couple of ways. So I'll go at it a couple directions here. I'll take it the Karate Kid kind of balance way, and then like balance, like you were talking about proprioception.
Okay.
So as we get older and as we sit and do nothing, our vestibular system is doing nothing and not getting challenged, so our balance becomes off. Our vestibular system is a gyroscope in our head that keeps us balanced. When you talk about people getting vertigo and things like that, when you get dizzy, that's your vestibular system not moving the way that it should. It's just like a muscle. If you don't use it, then it doesn't work. That's why people in their 40s and 50s don't like getting on roller coasters. Most people, because your vestibular system's not. You just sit all the time. You don't move. Like, you don't do anything, so it doesn't get worked. Like, it doesn't. You're not pumping your biceps up. You see what I mean? So that's why we do some of the goofy things in here. We roll and crawl and bird dogs. I'm gonna bring that up every episode. You know that, right?
Yeah. Until I ask for them back.
Yep.
Okay. Not gonna happen.
Yep. So that's right. So that's why we do some of the things that we do to challenge your vestibular system. So as far as balance for balance sake goes, like being able to be balanced, that is certainly something that should be an aspect of everyone's training, and not only in like a single unilateral leg training kind of way, like doing unilateral exercises like split squats, rear foot elevated squats, single leg squats. In those instances, you're talking about proprioception. Proprioception is your body's awareness of the world around it and where it is within the world. So on 2 feet, it's easy for you to be aware of how you should balance and maintain your stability. On 1 foot, it's a little harder for your body to understand that. So whenever you go ahead.
Why do some people struggle more with that? Is it just genetic or?
No, because we walk like this, and as we get older, we walk like this. Hi, Sharon.
Hi.
As we get older, we walk like shuffle, right? And we sit like this.
Okay.
Right? So we don't walk on one, we walk with one leg, but like one leg at a time.
Right.
However, we very rarely go like maintain stability on one leg for an amount of time.
We don't stand like a flamingo.
Exactly.
Okay.
Not that we should, not that like that's, I'm not telling you should live your life standing like a flamingo. However, like that's why people have hip mobility issues. I mean, sitting and all that thrown in there, but you have strength and mobility issues and stability issues when you get older because your steps slowly get smaller and smaller, and you're not challenging that plane. You're not challenging that side to side. You're not challenging yourself being on one leg. Like it's just not you're just not doing it.
Okay.
So most people that struggle with that, that just means they probably sit more.
Oh, okay.
They either sit more or they stand more on two legs, and they just don't challenge. Like they don't walk with a regular pace, or they don't run at all, or they're not in some way challenging themselves on one leg.
Okay.
You see what I mean? So that I believe anybody can get it. Like the amount of people that have came in here and said, "Oh, my balance is awful. I'm not gonna be able to do that kind of stuff," and 3 months later can do everything just fine. I can't even tell you it's the majority of people that walk through the door.
Oh, sure.
So, like I said, balance from a balancing state like point is important because just as we get older, that's what you're fighting. Being able to move correctly, you're fighting being able to walk, you're fighting being able to just stand up and sit down. You're just constantly fighting
Sounds
that.
like you're fighting a lot of things.
You are. I mean, it just is.
Older.
Your hormones are getting shut down. Your body's trying to take all your muscle. It's your muscles are all trying to atrophy. That's the same thing. I just said the same thing twice, but that's okay.
Lack of use.
Yeah. So that's why these things are important, and it goes back to Robin and Lisa's question about how do I balance everything? Well, yeah, it's important. Like this is a day-to-day thing, and you should rest, but it's forever. It's just something you do forever.
Okay.
So, again, balancing is something that should be in everyone's program. Not like standing on one leg and balancing, but unilateral exercise is something that should be in everyone's program. Split squats, rear foot elevated squats, single leg squats, lateral squats. So anything that you're using one leg or one arm at a time.
Boy, am I glad I came here.
You did a lot of leg presses, leg curls, leg extension.
Well, we never,
hack squat.
never did any kind of unilateral work. And I didn't know how important it was. So, until I came and started training with you and did it. And I thought it was crazy the first time. I'm like, you're wanting me to do what? One leg?
I specifically remember seeing you try a rear foot elevated squat the first time. I think that's what it was. Whatever type of unilateral exercise I put you on first.
Oh, yeah.
I specifically remember that.
Yeah.
I specifically remember you falling over.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. So, yeah.
But no, that's not,
I don't think people realize.
And now you take it for granted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, it's...
And I think that, I definitely think that's beneficial for the aging process because, you have to be able to, you might trip over a little crack in the sidewalk, and without having trained your body to right itself, odds are you're going to hit the ground. I have to say, knock on wood. I have not fallen.
Going back to rolling and crawling. Going back to rolling and crawling. Everyone should know how to fall or how to be on the ground and get off the ground. Everyone should know how to fall. And then get off the ground, right? So what do we do a lot of here?
We get down on the ground and get back up.
Yeah, what do we call those things? You just did them last night.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. I don't know.
Jeez, Pete, you hold a kettlebell over your head.
Yeah.
What do you call them? I'm putting you on the spot. You're going to answer the question.
Oh, good
Thank
Lord.
goodness. Thank you, Sharon.
Are you sure that that's not just to... That works your entire body. And if I think, if I have to get up with 44 pounds laying on me. I mean, that would be a small child that fell on top of me, but I think that I could probably do that. But, I mean, that's incredibly. The first time you do that exercise, that is... I can see what you're saying because that is balance. That's...
Everything.
Everything.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're good.
What are you going to say? We had a minor technical difficulty?
Yeah, you want me to explain it or do you want to explain
it? I don't want to explain
All right.
it.
So, this week is the week of technical difficulties. Saturday we had a workshop, and
was that a technical difficulty?
That was a brain difficulty.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay, I guess.
Yeah, things happen.
So if you're wondering where the workshop is, we recorded it, but there's no sound, so you know, unless you're really good at reading lips, it's pretty much useless. And then the other day, the mic died, and then the camera died, and then something else happened, and that was episode 28. So now, in episode 29, we don't really know what happened. The camera just decided to shut off, and it didn't miss much, so that's good. It missed maybe 10 seconds or so.
Yeah.
Maybe 30 seconds. I don't know. But
we were
not
talking about get-ups. So.
Yeah, we finished up with get-ups. But anyway, the moral of the story is balancing is important for just as you get into later stages in life, because everyone does, being able to maintain stability and getting up and down off the ground is important, because so when you fall, you don't break a hip and
you can get yourself back
get yourself back off the ground. Mm-hmm. So that was the moral of the story.
And it's good to be able to do that. So we're glad we do unilateral work.
Unilateral work, and you love get-ups.
I love get-ups.
Yes.
Yes. Been doing them a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very good exercise, I think. Hard, but very good.
Yeah.
They're certainly not bird dogs.
No, they're certainly not that.
Okay. So, I guess that's the end of our questions.
Yep, we knocked them all out.
Did a good job once again.
Thank you. So did you.
Oh, thanks.
Except you forgot what a get-up was for about 30 seconds.
I was just enjoying
you were in relaxer
listening.
mode?
I was relaxed, just kind of listening, taking it all in. And,
all right.
Yeah. All right, so that's the end of our questions. If you have any exercise questions, nutrition questions, any
lifestyle
questions, mindset questions for Jerry or myself, please send them to me.
That's risky.
What's that?
Or myself?
I'll take questions.
All right.
For you.
Oh.
Send your questions to me at Trevis@thriveforstrength.com or
Twitter @the Thrive Pack, or you can get us on Facebook, Thrive Fitness or Thrive Nutrition.
Yeah, and please, no question is too small or too big. We love doing this and love sharing the knowledge. So hit us up. Thank you for listening. Is that it?
Nice job.